This is an awesome pitching match number one, and it's a perfect time for me to nerd out. So
Is this
I had
like
to bring
your
you two in here.
dream?
This is absolutely my dream. This is what I wake up for. Cliff's like, I don't wake up for this at all. But anyways,
like...
what I want to talk about here is that the fastball Cade Horton and Paul Skenes throw are incredibly different. And I want to dig into exactly how their hand and what they do in terms of their arm circle gets them to these shapes. Because you think four-seam fastball, you think, okay, it's a fastball, right? It's 96, maybe it moves a little arm side, moves a little up. These guys are on completely different ends of the spectrum. I'm going to show you exactly how. So give me my tape behind me here. Horton on the left here. What he's doing, when this ball spins out of his hand, give me the first couple frames. What you'll see is, look at that logo, the MLB logo on the ball right there, right? See how that's kind of facing you? He's cutting the ball slightly. So as a result of that, his pitch moves away from right-handed hitters and inside to left-handed hitters more than your standard fastball. So you compare that Cade Horton ball, right? Remember that logo's peeking towards you. To the Skenes ball, you can't really see it perfectly, but the MLB logo on this ball is towards the top. So give me a couple frames here. As he releases it, let it roll through a little bit. You can see that this ball is spinning almost completely different, right? He does not cut the ball at all. He's completely through the ball, what you'd say pronates through the ball, such that the ball rides and runs. So these guys are on completely different ends of the spectrum in terms of how they create the shape on their fastball. And we could verify this when we look at the actual data and understand what you'd call arm side movement, how much the pitch is running into you as a right-handed hitter or away from you as a left-handed hitter. That middle line right here is comparable velocity. Skenes throws really hard, obviously, a little bit harder than Cade. Arm side movement, Skenes gets 14 inches, all right? The plate is around 17 inches, so you're talking almost the entirety of the plate. That ball moves into Elise as a righty or away from Cliff as a lefty. Cade's ball doesn't move at all. It's dead center. It's a very centralized, kind of straight pitch. This, I imagine, from a hitter perspective, creates some oddities. So I'm gonna start with Elise. Talk me through Cade Horton. When the ball's cutting kind of away from a righty, creating that cut movement, how do you think that affects a hitter?
Well, I always would think as a hitter that I'm trying to catch the ball before it moves. It's difficult when there's velocity because you can't cheat that much because you're trying to hit the fastball, and when they're throwing that hard, you can't really cheat in general. I think when we were looking at Cade in particular, yes, there's cut on the fastball, but the fact that it's also up in the zone, and Cliff, you were just saying earlier, right? Like when there's a fastball up in the zone, you're like, I'm ready to go. Like
it looks hitterish.
Yes, and it was the same thing, a rise. That's the equivalent in softball, the four seam, the rise. Like that's, like you want to hit the rise, you can never hit the rise, so you got to lay off. But the thing is, he's throwing the fastball in the zone, so you can't just lay off of it. So that's the challenge with him. I think for these guys, like you're sitting fastball because they throw so hard, like you can't do anything else. I think you're probably also looking zone. So you have in your head that his ball is going to cut. So I would say as a righty, I really have to stay in. If I cheat because of it moving away from me, I'm gonna probably like roll over it or just, I'm not gonna hit it solid. A lot of people aren't hitting it solid, but that would be the key for me, is just to really stay balanced and keep my shoulder in.
That makes sense. And for you, on the Skenes side of things, let's flip it here. So yeah, I know you're preying on him, but this ball is moving a ton. He goes to lefties, he'll go inside, kind of front hip you, and then also go away. Elise and I were looking at this. It's a really hard pitch. It runs a lot. What on earth is the approach versus this fastball?
You know, I've said this a couple times, and you always kind of think of like, you know, how guys approach these guys. Me being a one-dimensional hitter works, I think, better against him.
Okay.
What I mean by that is I'm a pull guy. So if I get close to the plate, I'm gonna take away, in my mind, the outer half of the plate, which is where his ball is gonna go when you think about his movement. That's just how I'm thinking. I can't think no other way. Am I thinking I'm trying to pull him? No, I'm just trying to barrel him up. And if I give him that much and I'm just kind of being center or just trying to cover just the plate, I think the advantage goes to him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, it does.
Right, because when I literally got on the plate and opened my front foot, that cleared me, but it also, for me, eliminated the stress of going, I can't get to that pitch because I'm not hitting it to left field anyway. Of my 233 homers, I probably hit 5 to left. So that makes me a pull guy. So I just felt like the closer I got to the plate, it allowed me in my mind mentally to chill and know that, yeah, he throws hard, but the ball is tailing away from me.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to at least try to hit this ball back up the middle.
Yeah.
Just give me that. That's all I was trying to do, right? I mean, if I went dead center, cool. If I just got a knock against him, a base hit, cool, I'm gonna take that and run with it. You're not gonna have the success you really wanna have against him because he's so good.
Yeah.
So you're not, if you're trying to make a living off Paul Skenes, you're going to be working at UPS in a couple weeks. But I think that's the difference of trying to play the cat and mouse with these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's interesting because even we were looking at against a righty, the fastball of Paul Skenes, because he can backdoor it. I actually don't mind that approach even as a righty, because if he's going to attack the outer edge on me, if I want to have any shot at squaring it up, you're going to have to then trust your hands in, which is really hard with how hard he throws if he does go in on you. But then what you're saying is, I want to capitalize on this pitch, and I'm just fouling this one off or trying to like get rid of it.
You hope you can take it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably a ball for a righty, like Elise in the box, right?
And if you're crowding the plate a little bit more, you have a better sense. If it's in on you, it probably is a ball. Like if I can't get my hands on it, then it's probably going to be too inside.
That's what you're playing with. A little different with him. But I don't want to face him. I'd rather face him if you believe it.
Well, let's see. Let's take a look. So the Skenes visual here, I really like. This is what I've been honing in on.
I'd rather face Cade. Not gonna lie, when he has 7 pitches at the end, like no thanks.
I'm just showing you. This is the pitch. What I want to really show is the second part of this video. You're seeing it. I love this. I love seeing it from the hitter point of view. There's 2 things here. Pause it at release for me before we get.
Okay, stop it right. Wait, what you want to learn?
I want to point out one thing.
Okay.
His slot's really low.
Okay.
Right. So this is partially why we're talking about Cade's kind of more over the top that allows him to cut the ball. Because Skenes is low, it's harder to cut the ball. He's going to run it through, get that arm side run. So what I want to show before I get into your thing, let's see this pitch all the way to the plate. Watch the tail on it, right? So it kind of loops in up on the right. It's kind of like got this crest to it almost.
Right.
That's what we're talking about with the arm side movement that really affects hitters. But what do you see, Cliff?
Now run it and pause it at Gorman's getting ready to swing. Pause it right there. See where he's already leaked? See his front side is gone?
Yeah.
He's going to eat you up all day if you do that. That's the difference. When you think about it, so when you're seeing it, he's made some adjustments. The ball's tailing away. So at home, you're going, okay, I get that point. But as a hitter, I'm saying if you leak and get that front side away, that ball has to be here for Gorman to have a chance. That ball there, he's missing it 10 out of 10 times.
And you see where it ends up again. It's up in the zone, kind of middle. It has that leg tail back. Gorman's off the pitch, as you're saying. It's middle of the play. Let's contrast this now. I'm going to tee you, Elise, with Horton. So we were just talking about same idea. I'm going to show you this. Just a called strike, middle of the plate, kind of up, similar spot, okay? Now, when we jump to this other angle, which is the main one I want to point out again, watch how straight his ball is towards the plate. Roll it through, right? No, there's no action on that pitch away. It's completely different than Paul Skenes, right? So again, higher slot, give me it to release. Pause it at release right here. One more frame. Right there. See? Higher slot. Skenes was kind of like down there.
Yeah, he was like right here, right?
And then roll it one more time.
Which would make you think at times it could almost be more true. Well, I think you see a little bit of that cut as it crosses the plate, which is what makes it difficult. So if you roll it through, I mean, it looks that you kind of see like some of that movement. It's not, a lot of times you talk about four-seamer, you're just used to like straight carry. Like that is like, it's gas, right? It's just coming in. But I would agree, I would say similar, what we just saw with Gorman, you need to stay in because if you're gonna, like in general, I think if you're going to hit these guys, you've got to stay in there. The minute you bail, you're done. And I also think you start your swing earlier, and at that point you trust your hands because you might get a little out of sync, but because they throw so hard, you'll still generate some power because it's coming in so fast.
Lance, I got to ask you real quick. I know we got to wrap.
Yep.
Does he throw a natural? Is it just a natural cut piece?
It is natural. I think a lot of the time we're talking about like the difference. I don't think you could say to Skenes, I want you to cut the ball like Horton. I don't think you could tell Horton to run the ball.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's something about how they move, how they get through their body. People are just predisposed to It's kind of like your stance, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't go up there with like Gary Sheffield's stance as a lefty and hit, right?
Not.
You got your own stance, you got your own stance.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar with pitchers. You kind of have a fastball. It's really hard to adjust it overall. So these two guys, Cole, have some of the most distinct fastballs, differential in terms of what they do in baseball. It's going to be a really fun matchup.